My name's Andrew Burges. I'm the director of Andrew Burges Architects, and we're here at the Gully House in Clovelly. One of the really lovely aspects of Clovelly is it's got this beautiful gully, I guess, that runs up, connects the beach to the ridgeline. It really comes out of this sort of distinct geography and the geometry of the beaches. The landscape here is really beautiful, and so we really wanted to do a project that really connected and almost made the house feel like an extension of the gully. I think it's important in our work is just that a project feels really kind of calm and coherent rather than trying to be extravagant, and that was really important in the briefing from the clients as well. Part of wanting to live at Clovelly was coming back to a place that's just very calm and connected to its natural setting. We definitely were sort of focused on a house that has a sense of longevity, that has a sense of calm, just an easy place to kind of occupy. As you come in off the street, we were just really interested in capturing that sense that the garden to the north at the high point on the side is really like a little piece of captured gully. We came up with an idea of just these floating concrete precast steps in quite an informal way, take you down through the garden to the front entry. As you come in that front entry, you land at a little lobby area that separates a kitchen dining area and a living area. It's interesting when you're working with a really steep site. Often when you think about how you start designing a project, you think about designing the floor plan. But we really started designing, and the innovation started coming when we were working in the cross section of the building. So really working out at what level to put the different spaces became really key. And as we started developing that, we worked into this split level section that really enabled the living room to have this sort of subtle few steps up from the kitchen area. We really thought of the kitchen area as being very grounded, so that opened up very much at the same level as a kind of outdoor courtyard. The way we positioned the living area allowed us to be able to get a sight line down to the pools and the lower areas of the gully. Because the house is quite open, as you kind of come in the living area, the kitchen dining area, it kind of has this idea of these sort of thickened edges where on the one side you have fireplace, some shelving and even some garden areas within the house. And then on the other side of the living area you have a timber bookshelf that leads into a little kind of, almost like a kind of secret area that takes you into a little storage area and a powder room off that. So we wanted to place the bedrooms at the two ends of the plan so that the main bedroom would look towards Clovelly and over the gully, and the kids' bedroom looked back towards a landscaped courtyard and towards the street. And then in the centre we had a little secret garden that provides light to the stair and also creates north sun for the main bedroom. And that all wraps around a double height void that draws light into the house. When we designed that skylight, we really didn't want to see any kind of hint of a frame or anything, so it's all designed so really you just have this sense of a clean opening to the sky. We wanted to really design the ensuite so that it was compartmentalised while still being open. A very long bench top, shower area, and then the main element in the ensuite, which is a beautiful bath right at that point of the threshold where you can open up and feel like you're really in the gully. One of the things we were really interested in was working between raw materials and quite refined materials. Working towards concrete, timbers, stones. The concretes and the oak timbers work really beautifully with the green. It's almost like we're kind of positioned, kind of nestled within a rainforest. So it gives you a really nice sense of that kind of quality of the site. The other key part of decision making in terms of the materials, we wanted to try and develop this sort of screen system that would still create that sense of being embedded in the landscape, but would start building privacy to the neighbours. So we did that through the development of a brick screen that's sort of integrated with a concrete structure as well. That could give us that quality of capturing the landscape almost within the walls of the house. Allowed light and ventilation to still come in, but you sort of also created a sense of privacy. Another aspect that was really important to us for the house was just really thinking about the scale of things within the house. The kitchen's a really generous space at about 4 meters high, but then when you look at the actual floor plan, the spaces are quite intimate. Nothing is sort of larger than it needs to be. And so there's this really lovely sense of this play of scales where it's quite generous with the double height space, but the actual elements of the floor plan, not particularly large. That helps create a kind of an intimacy within this quite bold concrete structure that kind of characterizes the house. Working with creative clients in terms of the finessing of the design, and it was a really lovely dialogue. That was a really great part of the process. Probably my favourite part of the design is just the little sort of secret garden off their bedroom that brings north sun into their bedroom. It provides natural light along the stair, and it's just, I guess, a bit of a surprise space. Feels like a little piece of captured gully. Probably what I'd be most proud of is just that quality of how it really does engage with the gully. I think that sense of really being in a place, just a really important dimension that we like to bring to houses, that you really feel connected to the geography of a place. You're connected to the sky, you're connected to the landscape. That kind of quality, which is a bit of an intangible quality that we try and have with the house, is probably what we're most proud of.